Hey there, I'm Joe Carter. If you've ever popped the hood and thought, where do I even start? You're in good company. Around here, we take the mystery out of car repair, one fix at a time. Whether you're a beginner or just looking to sharpen your skills, there's something here for you. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you're into learning without the headaches. All right, that's enough from me. Let's get into it.
The purpose of the oil caps when the engine is running, the exhaust valve is at a high temperature. Therefore, the oil that falls on its working facet, burns, and soot from it creates conditions for the valve burnout when the slag particles break off in the resulting tightness of the conjugation of the valve and seat rushes red-hot exhaust gases and the valve. Sometimes together with the seat burns out. The intake valve has a lower operating temperature, oil does not burn on it, but flows from it into the cylinder. Therefore, the intake valve never burns through. Symptomatology: signs of wear on the valve seals, called oil caps, increased oil consumption. Worn rings also cause oil consumption, but then oil will definitely get into the breather pipe. Bluish smoke from the exhaust pipe after starting the engine. This happens because while the car is standing, the oil that burns after starting the engine penetrates into the combustion chambers. Oil consumption is equally high when driving both in the city and on the highway, in the absence of oil in the breather pipe. It is important for diagnostics how much oil the engine consumes in different operating modes. Higher oil consumption in the city will indicate ring wear. Burned oil on the plugs. If the wear on the caps is high, the plugs can be splattered with oil so badly that the engine will trod. If the signs of cap wear in your car are evident, it is unlikely that additives can take away the problem. It is worth considering repair. Tools and materials: valve loosener, tweezers, mandrel for pressing caps, hammer, heads with extensions and a collar, a set of horn and socket wrenches, collet clamp for cap removal, silicone sealant, or better yet, a new timing cover gasket. Replacement of oil caps with your own hands. Remove the timing cover. Expose the crankshaft and camshaft to the marks. Put the appropriate markings on the parts so that there are no difficulties with their alignment after repair. Make a note of the location of the connections and connectors to be removed. When removing the camshaft, loosen the camshaft drive tensioner. Adaptation for loosening the valves. On the photo of the process of removing the crimps, the right tool for removing the caps. Installation process: how to install the oil caps. Remove the springs from the oil seals. Insert the oil seal into the mandrel, drop a drop of oil on the valve stem. Slide the stuffing box and mandrel onto the valve stem and slide it down to the seating shoulder of the guide. Lightly tap the mandrel with a hammer to press it into place. Do not forget to put the springs on the fitted caps before reassembly. After that, install the valve components and dry the way you used to remove the breadcrumbs. Repeat this sequence as many times as necessary and the replacement of caps with your own hands will be done. Assemble the disassembled assemblies in the reverse to the removal sequence. If your motor does not use hydrocompensators, adjust the valves. Now you know how to change oil caps with your own hands. No matter how much you have not done all the procedures before, observe extreme care. Useful tips: there are additives available to rebuild oil seals. When you are tempted to use one of these instead of changing the caps, remember that there are no miracles in engine operation and natural wear. These additives soften hardened rubber and supposedly should restore the quality of oil seals. Experience shows that these additives either have no effect on the rubber, or soften it too much and the size of the working edge increases, and oil consumption after the use of additives increases significantly. So you'd better think about changing the oil caps. How much it will cost you depends on the type of internal combustion engine. But you will definitely be sure that the caps fulfill their function. Additives, alas, will not be able to guarantee such an effect. You should not try such additives on your car. If you have not found a device with a collet clamp for cap removal, but it did not stop you, remember that the landing step under the cap has a wall thickness of just over 1 millimeter and is very fragile, and when trying to Remove the cap with pliers. Break this part of the valve guide very often, and the repair that is necessary after this replacement of the guide, seat milling and lapping the valve, is much more expensive than the replacement of caps and appropriate devices. Function of oil caps. Valve seals. Valve loosener tool for removing oil caps. Installing oil caps. What are oil caps?